Today on Locked On Rockies, it might be a bit of surprise to hear that was a winnable series for the Colorado Rockies, but this is a team that's still figuring out how to win.
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 11th day of August in the year 2025. I'm your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Paul Holden, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where you can find your team every day. And if your team is the Colorado Rockies, guess what? You're in the right spot, because that's what we do around here each and every day, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where we got a lot of support over the weekend. A lot of folks checking in from around the league here, and a lot of new subscribers. J Mills is new to the channel, subscribing. We thank you for that. We also thanks Kurt, who says, I'm a Mariners fan and I never miss Locked On Rockies. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much. Same with Mark, who says, I'm a Royals fan. And same. Thank you all. I know there's a lot more support here from a lot of folks. I mean, the biggest episode of Locked On Rockies ever last week, and some of the biggest episodes last week. So really, I thank you all so much for tuning in and joining the show, being part of the conversation, and hanging out with us Rockies fans as well. And of course, all the Rockies fans who make us your first listen every day. Another disappointing series to talk about as the Rockies' pitching problems continue, as they continue to allow a lot of runs, especially from the starters, and a lot of hits. On the bright side, for most of the weekend, we saw the Rockies' offense show up, led by some young guys in the exciting debut of Kyle Karros there. But 2 out runs, and a lot of them in the finale, plus a walk-off loss in game 2. Close game that turns into a blowout. I mean, this is just all stuff that par for the course for the 2025 Rockies. And when we say it's a team that doesn't know how to win, this was a prime example of a series of how the Rockies don't know how to win. It's amazing how often they can get 2 quick outs and then go and give up 8 runs and allow the Diamondbacks to do something they've never done in their franchise's history. Let's talk about that and more coming up on today's episode. Before we go any further, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. Rockies have now lost 7 games in a row, and all the fun and the good vibes and the energy of that Pirates series seems so far away, especially when you consider that, hey, as much as I said that this Diamondbacks team was going to be a different team, it's still a Diamondbacks team that has a lot of talent. It's still a Diamondbacks team that is known to give the Rockies fits, and I believe now has completed the regular season series win for sure now. Yes, the Rockies and the Diamondbacks play only 3 more times. If the Rockies sweep that series, they'll make the regular season series 6-5, but the Diamondbacks have now beaten the Rockies 6-2 in the regular. I'm sorry, 7-2. I don't know if this is updated yet. Nope, it is. This one is updated on ESPN, as I'm getting some of the scores and everything, as I'm recording pretty much right after the show ends, or the game ended here. So the Rockies have lost the regular season series to the Diamondbacks again, 6-2. And we'll see. I mean, Coors Field, 4-game set. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's a 4-game set. I miscounted. So the Rockies do have a chance to at least tie the series. So haven't lost it, but they need a sweep to avoid losing the regular season series to the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks had no problem with the Rockies starters, again, as no one has. Bradley Blaylock allows 5 earned runs on 7 hits and 4 2/3. Does get 4 strikeouts in that as well in that second game. In the first game here, the Rockies starter here, Austin Gomber, 6 earned runs on 5 hits in 6 innings. I mean, good to see him get 6 innings, but it's still another 5+ earned run performance for a Rockies starter. And then Tanner Gordon, things were doing pretty well until 10 runs off 12 hits on 4 2/3. Did get the 6 strikeouts, so when we're looking for small slivers of positive things, and all that damage happening with 2 outs for Gordon. So certainly unfortunate, but it's baseball, it takes 3 outs. It takes 9 innings. This is when we talk about it has to go for it's about doing everything correct. It's about executing all the way. It's about executing throughout the game, executing throughout your start, and going 4 2/3 and running out of steam there, and getting, no matter how much it is them just being good hitters, you got to be able to find a way to get the job done there. And Gordon was unable to do it. I mean, the Rockies starters here are not did not put the Rockies offense in a great position here, unfortunately, especially when you count the fact too, in game 2 of this series, the Rockies did have a 4-1 lead to start this game off, at one point, leading the ball game there, going up 4-1 in the top of the third, but 2 runs allowed, and then another 2 runs. And when you continuously allow 5+ runs, even solid offensive performances, 5 runs on 9 hits is not a bad performance from your offense. And the big frustrating part, especially in the finale, is you got blown out there. And this was the game in which the Rockies offense had some success, but also really struggled with runners in scoring position. The Rockies could have been the team blowing the Diamondbacks out if they were able to execute on the other side. This is the game 3. That's a moment where the pitching needs to be able to pick up the offense there, as the offense was, did the work in game 2. It's kind of like, working in that harmony, finding a ways for when one area is not as strong, when one area, has their issues and an off day or something like that. Pitching can back up the offense, and the offense can back up the pitching. But when the Rockies offense is constantly down multiple runs in the first few innings of the ball game, including what were the Rockies down in this one? They were down 3-0, and out of the gate. Out of the bottom of the first, when you're unable to execute as your starters, and you have to continuously climb out of multi-run holes, big deep holes of 3 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, that puts a lot of added pressure, and it kind of takes away from the fact that the Rockies had a somewhat decent day at the yard in the finale. Again, stinks that they didn't execute with runners in scoring position, because if you, instead of going 5 for 16, if you're able to capitalize there, you're the ones blowing out. You're putting the pressure on. You avoid the sweep that way. 6 runs on 16 hits. It's 5+ runs for in back-to-back games for you. It's another instance where the Rockies offense is showing strengths in the second half, mixed with the fact that there were young guys contributing to the Rockies offense in games 2 and 3. Game 1, the Rockies offense pretty squandered there. Did get 6 hits in that ball game, but only the 1 run across the ball game there. So that's kind of my main thing here, and I think it's kind of a good reminder to myself too, when I preach the offense is going to be the thing that helps the Rockies win those shootout games and win more of them. It didn't pan out that way this weekend. When you can't just simply rely on the offense having to be able to come up massive and have huge, big scoring outputs game in and game out. You obviously want that, you hope that, but when you're talking about the realities, and especially with the Rockies realities of home and away, you need to be able to count on your starters. You need to be able to count on these guys able to keep you in ball games, to keep things close. But for it to be, I got the stats that the broadcasts were mentioning in this, and so they probably changed a little bit throughout the game, because this note I was taking was during the really, really bad. What inning was that? I kind of just blocked out the really bad bottom of the 5th in game 3. So we'll read these stats just to show you just how bad it's been on the from the pitching side, and it serves as the reminder of, it doesn't matter what your offense can do. When your pitching staff is this bad, you're going to be finding yourself behind a lot, and that's going to be hard to come back from. Let's dive into that coming up here in just a moment on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes Gameday Hue. Little quick wardrobe change here. I was actually just at the driving range and I was looking awfully cool with my Tour Performance golf glove this weekend because Gameday Hue has got you covered for all sorts of great looks. Why? Because it's simple and it's all about the color. Today's episode is brought to you by Gameday Hue, and so is this hat I'm wearing. For Rockies fans like me, this one hits the mark. Gameday Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. Like I said, working on my game, I was told that I'm not much of a golfer. I'm kind of more of a fan of the driving range right now. And my friend told me it's all about mastering the 9-iron. So I was looking good on my 9-iron practice today with my golf glove here on the course here. But guess what? You can rock this style anywhere you'd like, whether it be your tea time, the grocery store. You'll be looking great with the simple and subtle, stylish hats that they provide. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com, code MLB15. Locked On Rockies back with you here on this Monday edition of Locked On Rockies. Been a long time, unfortunately, in baseball world, in baseball time, since we've seen the Rockies win a ball game. But they will try again, as they are in a slew of games where they no off days, I believe, through the rest of the month here. It's going to be a trip to St. Louis and then the homestand with Diamondbacks and the Dodgers coming up, I believe. So a lot of baseball for the Rockies here, and the intrigue will be, how will the young Rockies continue to compete as the Rockies call up Kyle Karros this weekend. He has a very, very nice weekend here, finishing the weekend here through his debut, batting .364, .462, .554. He had a couple of hits and a couple of RBI there, a couple of extra base hits there on the weekend for him. A really special debut, as it's always good to see. The Rockies have had some young guys come up here and take advantage of their opportunities. Warming Bernabel is still showing some strong signs there, but in 11 at bats there, he's got 4 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBI, a couple of walks drawn, 2 strikeouts as well, but nothing, no shame there. Those were just some good ABs, some great success in doing exactly what you're hoping for right now. If you're encouraged yet again by another young guy making his debut, Warming Bernabel here. A little bit back, closer to the dip in reality here, not the as going out to as the multi-hit games, but still has hits in 4 in his last 5 ball games, including a double in that time. He has been someone that now he's got 18 hits there with 10 RBI, the 3 home runs, 5 doubles. Really cool to see that as well. And Adiel Amador coming up there and getting a couple of hits in this since he's been called up there. Actually, let's see what he got. How many hits? Just one? Is it? Yeah, no, couple of hits in the final ball game there. Was held hitless in the game on Friday, but good signs from the young offense there. And of course, Ezequiel Tovar raking as well. I mean, he went 0 for in the beginning, but man, just a ton of doubles. Ezequiel Tovar is just very, very fun to watch. In his last 5 games, he's had multi-hit games in 3 out of the 5. In that time, he's also had RBI in 3 out of the 5 there. And this hasn't updated with the Sunday's game at the bottom. So you're talking about another multi-hit game there, where no RBI, unfortunately, there, but a 3-hit ball game in the finale for Tovar, including 2 doubles here as he continues to just scorch with doubles and emphasize that he just makes such a big difference to this Rockies lineup. And with him being confident there, it's been helping out. And we're talking about Brent. I mean, we're talking about offense here, and I know we got to talk about the bad stuff still here, but hey, let's highlight some good stuff on offense. Brenton Doyle's been swinging a better bat as well. A couple of long balls in this series. Some good swings from Brenton Doyle there. Multi-hit game in the finale there. Had 2 hits on Saturday as well, a hit on Friday. He's got hits in now 5 out of his last 6 games, 5-game hitting streak there, including back-to-back home run days. Some the strikeouts are still about looking about 1-ish a game roughly there, but looking much better, looking much more confident at the dish there for Brenton Doyle, which is huge, especially because that's what's so important with these other guys performing and these other guys contributing on offense. Allowing Brenton Doyle to drop down deeper in the lineup is what the Rockies need to continue to do. I mean, it's someone that I think that's where he will thrive in the bottom half of the lineup and give you a nice, interesting option there too when he gets on base with the base run in there. But got to double-digit home runs for Brenton Doyle on the season. Really been turning things around. Got that batting average up to 232 as well when you're talking about a guy that was a sub 200 hitter not too long ago. OBP slugging, still not the most impressive numbers as well, but we are seeing improvement here, especially in the second half of the season from Brenton Doyle, which is encouraging. But all the good stuff about the offense aside, let me just read you some of the stats that they were saying. And again, some of these I believe have increased by the end of the game. So just a reminder here with what happened. The Diamondbacks scored all 13 of their runs with 2 outs. The Rockies have 91 errors on the season. They allowed a new franchise record, 9 hits with 2 outs to D-backs, 9 hits in a row, I believe. They allowed 30 plus hits in the series. 95 plus hits, so over 95 hits allowed in 6 games. Their ERA for the pitching staff is over 8.21 for the Rockies pitching staff since the All-Star game. And that includes both the starters and the bullpen's ERAs being above 4. That's just how ugly it's been. It's a lack of execution. And again, it's a lack of experience when you're talking about who's thrown there. The Rockies also calling up Chase Dolander is going to make the next start for the Rockies. So it's certainly inexperience. They have a couple of starts, but not a ton in the grand scheme of things. And it's Austin Gomber's inability to be that effective as a starting pitcher. And he's far from alone, but the Rockies now in 3 straight series have allowed their opponents to have a double-digit run scoring game. The Blue Jays did it in all 3 games. So when you're talking about the last 6 games for the Colorado Rockies, 4 out of the 6 games, the Rockies pitching staff and defense, there have been some errors certainly and not as much, but the Rockies pitching staff has allowed 10 plus runs in 4 out of their last 6 ball games. That is how you lose 7 games in a row. That is how you lose 100 games before the end of August. That is how you slide further and further and further behind and continue to have a horrendous run differential and continue to put your offense in a horrendous spot. And again, the young guys aside, but it's like, okay, Austin Gomber, what are the Rockies doing to help you adjust? What are the Rockies doing to help you get to a better spot? Kyle Freeland. I hear on the broadcast there, Antonio Senzatella is down in Arizona working on it. So that blister must have gone down or whatever it was. The Rockies opponents runs per games, and this is by teamrankings.com. The Rockies are last in baseball and allowing 6.48 runs per game. 6.48 runs per game. That's insanity. Break it down pretty. That's allowing a run for more than half of the ball game. Almost 2/3 of the ball game allowing a run in those innings. And for all of this damage to come with 2 outs, you have to execute. You have to get the 3rd out. You have to get the ground ball. You have to get the fly out. You have to strike somebody out. You got to execute. That baseball does not bail you out. If you don't execute your pitches, if you do not hit the locations you're supposed to be, if you do not get the break on the pitches that you're supposed to get, you will be punished. And the Rockies have been punished time and time and time and time again. It's this team that, when as soon as we look at kind of little embers of possibilities, they just get stamped out by the realities of like, this is where you're at. And again, I do take in the context of the inexperience of the Rockies bullpen and the Rockies starters and the injuries and the issues that the Rockies have faced, to their starters. But I'm also asking for Major League ball players to execute and get 3 outs in an inning, to play 9 innings of baseball. That's the expectation, and they've been falling short of that. And while they learn and grow and go through this and down the line, hopefully they won't be facing these issues. That doesn't take away from the fact that there are some guys, and Austin Gomber is the veteran that started in this series, where we need to see more from you. Flat out, plain and simple. There and I know there was some unlucky breaks and some stuff too there in that series with the officiating and whatnot, but it doesn't matter. This is a situation where when it comes to Gomber and Freeland and Marquez and Senzatella, they've disappointed as the vets that are supposed to be helping, that I thought were going to solidify and help stabilize and help these young guys grow into their roles as major league starters. Having to rely on guys that are getting their first 10 starts, it's no wonder this stuff will happen. We have to allow them the opportunity for them to bounce back and develop and change their approach and use their tools and use what the Rockies are giving them to adjust and adapt and get better. But when we're talking about the veteran starters in this rotation for the Rockies, we need more from them. And the expectation for them should be a lot higher. But that is just not the case. And that's why, again, I'm calling for the accountability of, you cannot ignore the downward trend of the Rockies offense, the downward trend of these starters that the Rockies extended and signed extensions to. You have to own up to that, and you have to look inward and say, this plan, this process, our approach with these guys is not working. I'm glad we got the pitching lab in Arizona, but we need to see some results, and we need to see some results from the veteran starters too, because the Rockies need to figure out what they're going to do with some of these contracts and some of these performances, because it is just going to further complicate the situation going forward for them. All right, let's put a bow on this. Look ahead to the next series for the Rockies, and keep rocking and rolling right here on Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes FanDuel. And since we are in August, that means the gridiron is back. And guess what? August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champion before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Maybe you're thinking you're going to go Broncos homer. Maybe you're thinking about, hey, I don't know, I'm going to go with the easy pick there in Mr. Josh Allen. I guess that's not really taking a flyer, but maybe you want to play it a little safe. Maybe you want to go something crazy like Pat Surtain is going to be so great on defense. It'll be that. Or crown your champion in August. You can go, like I said, ride the Broncos homer wave, or use your football knowledge to take advantage of the great promo deals. And of course, you can always parlay your division winner dark horses. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day, August 26th, is one day and one day only. And that's at FanDuel. Play your game. Locked On Rockies here, winding down this Monday edition of the Locked On Rockies podcast. And again, folks, I really want to say thank you to all the people tuning into the show, checking out the show, leaving their comments here. The most comments we've ever seen on a episode of the Locked On Rockies podcast. And so it really does appreciate that, as Adam also mentioning. Their hockey team won a Stanley Cup recently. I don't feel bad for them at all. So a lot of great comments, a lot of good insight too. I do really, it's really great hearing from other teams and getting the perspective from what other teams think, especially from people, following baseball and are curious about what actually is going on with the Colorado Rockies here. It is just it's been a bit of a tough slog. So it's always when stuff like this happens, when we see people engaged and entertained and excited by Rockies content or just what's going on with the Rockies, I appreciate it. And of course, there's lots of folks. If you're curious about the Rockies, a lot of really great Rockies media outlets out there. A lot of great Rockies media folks doing coverage of a very frustrating team. And I think that's what I think that's again the way to feel at the end of this series, because this series at moments was winnable for the Rockies. They had a chance. They had an opportunity in game 2, but they blow it at the end. They can't seal the deal. They can't come up clutch when they needed to in that one. Going let's see, what were they? They were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position in that ball game. So they had their moments. They had their opportunities in this series and an opportunity to take the regular season series as well from the Diamondbacks, but it's you have to execute. That is really the theme of especially the finale there. I mean, you can get 2 outs on 7 pitches, but you can allow 9 straight hits. You can allow 13 runs on 2 outs. When you allow that much damage with 2 outs, it shows you that you have to be able to execute and replicate that execution. And it's what makes baseball so difficult. And it's what makes the transition to the major leagues so difficult for a lot of the young guys and a lot of the young players here for the team. It's a different ball game, and replicating that execution, replicating your, what you did successfully, being able to do that over and over again is what makes is so hard to do. And it just adds into just what makes baseball so difficult and such a hard sport. So again, I mean, it is not easy to just say, hey, just go out there and hit the ball and perform and everything. But on top of it, though, we just haven't seen the Rockies. We've seen the flashes. We've seen little moments. It's just about recreating that, being consistent with that, being able to execute consistently. And that's what good teams do. That's what successful major league teams do. As the Rockies now on a 7-game losing streak as they head to the St. Louis Cardinals here. When we're talking about the last time these two teams met, the Rockies did indeed beat the Cardinals in 2 out of 3 ball games back at Coors Field, including the Rockies' first shutout in over 200 games. Chase Dollander is going to make his debut. He's not listed right now, but the broadcast did say that, the Rockies broadcast saying that it was Dollander getting the call-up for the start in St. Louis tomorrow. St. Louis 59-59, 33-25 at home, so a stronger team at home than on the road. Going up against Miles Mikolas here. He is 6-9 with a 5.11 ERA, a 1.32 WHIP, 111 innings pitched, 122 hits, 76 strikeouts, 24 walks, and 21 home runs. So again, a pitcher that will have some. If the Rockies can be patient at there, don't extend the strike zone too much. The Rockies should be able to get after him and do some damage here. The Rockies did not see Miles in the last series against them, so this will be a different arm from the Rockies there that they saw before, but not the abundance of strikeouts that we've seen some of the guys here has allowed. With the 122 hits and 111 innings pitched, that's those are some encouraging numbers there, and including the 21 home runs allowed here. That WHIP 1.32, 5.11 ERA, nothing out there that's sitting that should say should dominate you. But this is the Rockies after all, and we will have to see. At least in the finale, it wasn't the strikeouts weren't a huge problem for the Rockies, and the Rockies were able to score 5+ runs in back-to-back games on the road. Always a good sign there too. So we'll see if the Rockies and the young Rockies offense can come alive and complete the regular season victory over the Cardinals here. If all they need to do is win one to at least tie it. If they win the series, they, of course, win the 2 series that they played against the Cardinals. We'll be reacting and breaking down all the action here on Locked On Rockies. So thank you so much again for making us your first listen of the day. For your second listen of the day, go check out Locked On MLB and Locked On MLB Game Night. If you need more Colorado sports coverage, we got you covered here on the Locked On Podcast Network with Locked On Broncos, Avalanche, Nuggets, and Buffs, all free and streaming on your favorite streaming services. And folks, until next time, this is Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.